The video you're watching right now should be impossible. Light doesn't travel through solid objects, except it does. Through glass so pure that if the ocean were made of it, you could see the bottom of the Mariana Trench. You've held fiber optic cables. Watch technicians splice them with tools costing more than your car. You assumed it was expensive because it's delicate. You have no idea what you're actually holding. How do we turn beach sand into glass that breaks the rules of physics? Why does a scratch invisible to your eye destroy a cable that survives decades underground? And what does this have to do with your video buffering at the worst possible moment? Let's explore the process. Here's what makes fiber optic glass different. It needs to be 99.9999999% pure. Not 99.9%. Not 99.999%. 9 nines of purity. That window you're looking through? About 90% pure. Your phone screen? Maybe 99.8%. Fiber optic glass can't have more than one impurity per billion atoms. You probably think that's engineering perfectionism. Everyone does. But here's what's actually happening. Every single impurity atom steals light. Not reflects it, not scatters it. Captures photons and converts them to heat. That video you're watching traveled through hundreds of miles of glass. If the glass wasn't this pure, your signal would die after 50 feet. This is why Ethernet works but can't go far. Copper loses against physics. You need perfection or you get darkness. The process starts with sand, but not from your local beach. We need pure silicon dioxide, quartz, mined from deposits where nature did half the work. Even purest quartz contains traces of iron, titanium, aluminum, parts per million that might as well be gravel when you need parts per billion. Engineers don't melt this sand like making a bottle. They vaporize it. Raw silica gets heated to 1,600 degrees Celsius and reacted with chlorine gas, creating silicon tetrachloride, a liquid that boils at room temperature. This converts solid quartz into vapor that can be distilled. Like making whiskey, but you're removing individual atoms. You've seen massive distillation columns at refineries. That vapor gets distilled through columns 30 feet tall, passing through dozens of stages, each separating molecules by weight. Iron atoms are heavy, silicon and chlorine are lighter. Gravity becomes your filter. 3 weeks. That's how long ultra-pure silicon tetrachloride stays in distillation. 3 weeks to achieve 9 nines from 5 nines. You've probably bought premium Ethernet cables at Best Buy, paid extra for gold-plated connectors. None of that matters if this distillation step failed. You were optimizing the wrong variable. This waiting period, this is why fiber optic cable costs what it costs. Now here's where it gets interesting. The purified vapor enters a deposition chamber where the fiber begins. But we're not making fiber yet. We're making a preform, a glass rod the size of a baseball bat that will become 100 miles of fiber. Inside the chamber, silicon tetrachloride vapor encounters a torch burning at 2,000 degrees Celsius. The chlorine burns away. Pure silicon dioxide forms as microscopic soot particles that deposit on a rotating ceramic rod, layer by layer. Each layer is 50 nanometers thick, about 1/2000th the width of a human hair. Deposition happens in a clean room that makes hospital operating rooms look filthy. Class 100 rating, no more than 100 particles larger than 0.5 microns per cubic foot. But here's the kicker. One dust particle in this room costs $2 million in ruined fiber. That's why engineers shower 3 times before entering. Once at home, twice at facility. Your body is a contamination bomb. Remember that video call that froze during your job interview? This moment determines whether your packets arrive or vanish into heat beneath Nebraska. The preform grows over 12 to 24 hours, depositing roughly 200 layers. Each layer has slightly different refractive index, engineered so light bounces down the center instead of escaping. This isn't just pure glass, it's an optical prison built one molecular layer at a time. The finished preform, perfectly pure, perfectly layered, about 10 inches in diameter, gets loaded into a draw tower. These towers are 3 stories tall because gravity needs distance. The top enters a furnace at 2,000 degrees Celsius, hot enough that glass flows like honey. We don't push it, don't squeeze it. Gravity pulls it downward, thinning as it falls until it reaches exactly 125 microns. Speed matters. Too fast breaks the fiber. Too slow creates imperfections. Sweet spot is 30 to 60 feet per second. That baseball bat preform becomes 100 miles of continuous fiber. You've watched technicians handle fiber cable like spider webs, wondered why they're so paranoid. That 125-micron fiber has tensile strength comparable to steel until the surface gets scratched. One microscopic crack concentrates stress, and the fiber shatters under the slightest bend. This is why they coat it immediately after drawing, while in the tower, before it touches air. Protective polymer coating goes on within seconds, sealing the pristine surface. So, that invisible signal isn't traveling through a cable. It's traveling through the most perfect material humans have ever manufactured. Every atom accounted for. Every layer engineered. Your Netflix stream, your Zoom call, your cloud backup, all of it riding on glass that took 3 weeks to purify, 24 hours to build, and 1 millisecond to ruin if someone bends it wrong. You're not just watching streaming video. You're witnessing the result of 9 nines of obsession. The difference between your message arriving and disappearing into heat is measured in parts per billion. And maybe you'll handle that Ethernet cable a little differently now, because you're someone who sees the invisible infrastructure holding the digital world together. That's the process. We reveal how things actually work, one story at a time. If there's something you'd like us to explore next, let us know. Until then, trust the process.